Yodi ho ho ho, what is going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I am down at Salem Wildwood where they laid out some of their new 2026 models here, and today we're going to be going over a floor plan that's going to look very familiar to you, yet it has some pretty significant 2026 changes. This is the 2026 Salem Cruise Lite 24ZEN, and this is going to look like the 24 View. So it's pretty much the same thing. However, get a little sneak peek-a-rooney right there of that little lighting system. It's really cool. It's like a nice little, it'd be a great couples coach. However, it does have a hidden bunk room too. So it's a really versatile setup. Plus, I think it looks really nice with that smooth-sided, metal siding right there. And the nice thing about this metal is it's going to be 30% thicker than your classic corrugated aluminum as well. So it should hold up a little bit better if you're somewhere that's a little bit more prone, to hail or anything of that nature. You get an outdoor kitchen. We'll come back and open up that. Basically a little griddle top, cooktop with a 60 rack-a-rooney that you can fit in that outdoor kitchen. 2 axles, and then, of course, like always, all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV where you can access, some pricing and obviously, various locations across the country, for that. But again, it's the 2026 Salem Cruise Lite 24ZEN, baby. And right off the bat, when we come in here, I want to show you this new light. I just think it is too cool for school. I mean, what do you guys think about this? I'd imagine at night, this would show up pretty darn nice. You're sitting back, you're snuggling up with honey buns, you're watching, a movie on your 40-inch Odeon TV, baby. Odie, if you're watching, what's up? But I mean, how freaking cool is that? I love it. And I like how this is controlled differently than this. So you can dim down one or the other. So you can, get the mood right and get yourself into kind of the right Zen type space. Get yourself feeling good, baby. So since this is a hidden bunk, I guess I'll go ahead and show that to you. But man, pretty darn cool. I could imagine being a little bit claustrophobic, though. That's going to be the downside to it. That'll be the downside to it. Not going to lie to you. Even though I'm in sales, y'all know I could. But I'm not going to because I don't. Let's see here. Oh, we got a little flip-up countertop right there. So that's a flip. Oh, no, okay, so that's a pull-out. So it pulls down there and flattens right here. So then you can shut that part down. So that's pretty cool. So you got kind of like a desk space right now. But then you have your other little bunk area right there. You have USBs and outlets down on, what the heck is going on there? USBs and outlets, so you can plug in all your devices. You also have an emergency exit, pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. And then, of course, your cubby spaces, along with your dimmers in there as well. So I think that is pretty darn snazzy. The TV, like I said before, directly across from your sofa. That sofa is also going to double up as an additional place to sleep. So whether you're using this as a bunk model or just like the one-off grandkid that comes, you got versatility right there. I could totally see people using that as like storage for like all your crafts or your seasonal items or something like that, because this is a pretty darn strong couples camper, if you want to use it that way. 15K AC up on the roof to keep you nice and chilly. And let's see here. Yep, okay. And then look at all the window coverage that you get. Emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. You have curtains, and you got the nightshade. So you got it both ways, baby. You can choose to block out the sun however which way you want. Keep the Dracula at bay, little Arvacula. You also have heat vents in the sides of the furniture. I never noticed that before. That's pretty neat. So none on the floor. They're just cooked up underneath there. But again, drops down, makes an extra bed. You also got some storage here up underneath as well, which is pretty darn cool, to have that. 10.7 cubic foot, 12-volt refrigerator. So whether you are bringing the grandkids or if it's just, 1 to 2 people, you got plenty of room. I would say if you got the whole family with you, you're probably looking at a long weekend's worth. If it's just, a couple or a single person, you definitely got room for about a week's worth of groceries. The other thing about this too is this kitchen is phenomenal. If you're needing something a little bit bigger, you could go with the 290ZEN, which pretty much just elongates pretty much every aspect. But the kitchen, to me, is a really strong point. One, you have a ton of countertop space, but you're also going to get a ton of window coverage, again, for a really, really nice view. All the windows open up. They all have the night shades, the Dracula shades, and then, of course, the curtains. It's also going to be a thermal wrap plastic, which, babe, if you're watching, I love you. I also like how you get the dinettes there. But I mean, imagine sitting down having coffee with honey buns and just enjoying a good view. You know, hopefully it's not just of like, so I like how that just says straight up trash. It's like, and then that one there too. Look at that. Heck yeah. I love it. You got your fuse box down below, and you also got a couple pull-out drawers. That's pretty good placement for that. Usually people fumble up the placement of those, and I think that's pretty darn good. So you flip it around, and you're going to have, you know, kind of more countertop space. Get a little bit more storage. You notice how the microwave is nice and hidden. Let me turn on these lights here. It's got really everything that you need. You got baked potato and popcorn, and then you're out of here, baby. But this is on the strut system. It's also going to be a little bit of a, I believe it's going to be steel. Oh, maybe aluminum. I don't know. It looks like steel, though. 3 top burner to whip up all the fixings. So if you're someone that likes to get, you know, maybe like a little mac and cheese, a little bit of baked beans, you're ready to rock. You also got a big enough area for, you know, like a cookie or something. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you got your undermounted plastic bowl with the little drying rack doodad and your high-rise faucet. Whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. And then as we keep on moving through, again, you got the 15K AC. It's all going to be ducted going through the camper. So it's going to be kind of unlike one of those H-track systems. And then you're also going to have JBL speakers all throughout. And that's going to be throughout the Salem lines in general. They definitely don't skimp out on the sound quality, which is very important. And I think the only downside to this camper is this door right here is a little bit thin. Like I'm a bigger guy, and you can see coming through, my shoulders are a little bit too wide, so I got to do the old sideways scoot right there. So that's where I think I would probably prefer the 290ZEN if it was me. It also has a 36 by 36 shower as opposed to the corner radius, which this is for a bigger guy, for someone that's a little bit on the chubbier side. You know, it's cutting it in terms of you know, space. So you can kind of get a good feel for it. But it's doable. You know, it's doable. It's not so small I got to tape sponges to the wall, but it's darn near it. Suburban on-demand hot water heater. A little bit of cubby storage. And then right here, action. Place for the old bowling gun, baby. Oh, look at that. That's a good-looking mirror right there, baby. Porcelain foot flush throne. And then you got the old steamer stink sucker 1000 right there, so it'll help suck out some of the steamer stink. That is for show. And then coming on over here on the wall, right next to the entrance, you got your awning control, your main slide, all your different accents. And then right here, anytime you see that little line right there, that means you can have control and dim it down. This is also going to be what they call the one control, so you can control it from an app on your phone, which I think is pretty darn nice to be able to, you know, do something like that, especially on an entry-level price point camper. You are wired for solar, so this is where your solar charge controller would be installed. And then, of course, we just mentioned it, the JBL speakers. Let me get these lights on here. King-size bed, so 66 by 78 for the bed. It's also going to be on the VersaTilt system. So you just hold the button right here, and you can see it starts lowering down. And basically what that is going to do, I'm going to put it back up. Basically what that is going to do is just cut off the walk-around room here and just provide more sleeping space. But during the day, when you're not using it as much, it gives you the walkability so where you can actually, you know, get dressed. Makes it a little bit more functionable. So you're going to have USB and universal C here. You also have more over there for like your CPAP machines. Emergency exit over here to my left. So again, pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry, along with a TV backer. And then you have your cable hookups right here. And you are prepped for the 4G LTE Wi-Fi too as well. So if you want to get that installed, get like a gateway or something, then call up like AT&T or Verizon, and you are going to be good to go. Window, bada bing, bada boom. And then as you come around here into the, well, I guess I don't even know where I was going with that. I think this is about it for the tour. We'll go around the outside, spend a couple moments there, and then, you know, get some things skedaddling. I got one more unit to complete, but each and every one of these is going to be coming out on the channel here soon if they haven't already. So if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button for daily RV content. But again, it's the 2026 Salem Cruise Lite 24ZEN. And like I said, drop a comment so that way Salem and Wildwood keep inviting me back. Although at this point, I think I'm pretty secured in there. I'm good friends with the reps, and On top of that, most of my videos have performed pretty darn good. So all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, including a link for the pricing over at Funtown RV will be down in the description there for you. But one slide on this unit, and it's got a pretty unique spot for the on-the-go ladder system. We'll show you that here in just a second too. But right up on the front, you have your smooth fiber or smooth metal finish there to it with the rock guard down at the bottom. You're also going to have a power tongue jack and then two 20-pound propane bottles. Plus you got room for two different batteries and your LP or your battery disconnect as well. Then over on the side, you switch on over to this new style of metal here, which is going to be 30% thicker. Again, if I mentioned it on this one, if not, I mentioned it on the others, 30% thicker, so it holds up better to things like hail damage and stuff like that. Blade lighting there, and then across your big old awning right there, which I think is really nice. Nice little soft glow for you. And they went away with the plastic clips, and they have the magnetic, which is, I'm sure it doesn't cost much more, but it looks a lot nicer. And honestly, I have snapped so many of those, you know, back in my day that it's just a pain in the butt to have them. Extend and retract for your stabilizing jack, so electric stabilizers. And then you have the Lippert 3000 series, so a little bit of an upgraded awning there for you. It goes in and out a little bit easier, but it's also going to be controlled by the 12 volt, which is, you know, your battery, you know, your solar, your truck. Dual axle, cable hookups, place to put your TV, more blade lighting right there. And now we're back on over to the outside kitchen, which has kind of that griddle, that blackstone kind of finish. I personally love that. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know I use that thing all the time once the weather is good. And then once the winter comes, my wife takes over the cooking on the inside. So I'm the griller, she's the baker. That's kind of how the relationship works, and it works out, you know, super well. So you have a bumper with a spare tire. You could also put on like extra storage or something of that nature. You're also going to see you have, you know, an exterior shower along with your backup camera prep, specifically the Furrion S Vision for that one. You're also going to have your tank valves located right here for your galley tank, and then your 50 amp connection will be located right here. And they went ahead and opted to prep the slides for slide toppers, which are going to be a piece of awning that goes from here to here, and it prevents debris from falling on top of your unit. Cable and satellite. Waste holding tanks and sewage outlet connection, your black tank flush, which is basically going to be a sprinkler system for your poop tank, and then your city water connection as well. Backside there of the pass-through storage. Then all right, guys, I think that about wraps it up. Again, my name is Hunter, and this is the 2026 Salem Cruise Lite 24ZEN. Hope to catch you guys next time. See ya.